Jubilee Platinum plans to unlock the value it perceives to be inherent in its businesses. Company non-executive chairman Colin Bird joins us now for more. Good to have you today, Mr. Bird.
Pleasure to be here.
It's interesting times for your company, difficult ones, I presume, but the value that you're hoping to unlock, if you can elaborate on that story for us.
Yeah, it's very difficult times. I guess it's very difficult in the platinum space, and it's very difficult for small companies. Small companies have been out of favour for some considerable time now, probably since 2008. As far as Jubilee is concerned, we're in a very interesting space, which is unlocked by one product, which is what we call Conroast, and that has an ability to extract platinum out of chrome, and that fits in all our legs. We've got a smelting capability at Middleburg. Power is, I guess, smelting is all about power. So that was, first of all, we had to guarantee power, and we had to lower the cost of our power. So we bought into a local power station, which we now own 70% of. At the same time, we developed a smelting capability for ferrochrome, for platinum, and for ferrosilica. At the same time as we're doing this, we were locating dumps where we could, in actual fact, concentrate the chrome and extract the platinum. And then use our Conroast facility yet again to beneficiate the final beneficiation of smelting. And then we were in small chrome operations whereby platinum and chrome go together. And finally, we have the largest unworked block of platinum probably in the world. I guess when you talk about South African platinum, you are talking the world. And we built up, for a very small company, a very large conglomerate. And investors, as you well know, don't like conglomerates. If you put in your dollar into a company, are you putting it into power generation? Are you putting it into mining? So they need to know. And so we're now looking at many potentials. We can sort of, each one of our divisions, let's call them divisions, have a standalone capability.
I want us to touch on some of the opportunities presented there. We just had a conversation with Mr. Esteban about power, no doubt proving to be quite a huge opportunity for that Spanish energy firm there. Your smelters and your gas-fired power unit, I understand that's one of the shining lights when it comes to your books.
It's the shining light, and quite frankly, it's been our mainstay for the last 2 years. We've developed it nicely. We like what we're doing, so we bought the power station. We can double the size of that power station. We're selling power into the municipality, and we're also using our own power for our own smelting activities. So we're not vulnerable. But now again, you know, if you was an investor somewhere in the world, in South Africa, in London, would you want to be investing in a platinum company? Well, they've got a power station.
So is that the plan?
Get rid of the plan is not necessarily get rid, because the smelters, it's a business which is making profits, so we could sell the smelters. There's a dependability between the smelters and the power station, so we may sell them together, we may enlarge them. Likewise, as I say, there's an interdependability. We've got the largest unworked block of platinum. That in its own rights will have demand within the next 5 years. And we've got a near surface dumps and primary mining, which is working very well for us. So I guess that we can bring newcomers into our division, black empowerment, commercial investors, international investors. We can spin off, but there's one thing for sure, that in the conglomerate we've built, the value of the parts, I think, is now beginning to be so much that we have to probably spin off and create value by partnership, or indeed joining forces with someone bigger than ourselves with one aspect of the divisional structure.
Are you in talks at the moment with any of the bigger
Always
players?
Always in talks, and that's what our business is, and my business has always been. You never stop talking. You never stop talking.
Are you talking to investors? You yourself have admitted that your share price hasn't seen a very sterling performance, down by 60% just year to date, in the last 3 years even further. How do you motivate and encourage your investors?
Well, the first thing is to motivate yourself. It's dismal, I do agree with you, and we really, but you can't be fed up. You've got to get on with life. And if Jubilee was separate from the rest of the sector, I'd be a worried man. But Jubilee is just indicative of the sector. And we've got a market capitalization of 7.5 billion. And I'm talking to you about smelters, the world's largest block of platinum. Doesn't make sense, does it? That's the space we're in. And we've created value in each one of our divisions. Now the best way is to sort of enhance that value and bring the shareholder the value back to shareholders. And as I say, really the theme is that conglomerates don't work for investors. They want to know, if I put $1 into a company, is it going to power station?
Exactly.
Is it going into a new big mine? Is it going into smelting? Where's it going?
So give us that inside scoop for someone who wants to put their money into Jubilee Platinum at the moment. Where will that money be going? What's your strategic plan? For
anybody who put their money into Jubilee Platinum now would be putting their money into a company which I think has suffered 3 years of pain, like I say, or the sector has. Its divisions are profitable. The business is cash profitable. And where would the money be going? It would be going into further structuring. I'm being a bit evasive because I have to be.
Fancy footwork.
It's going into further structuring, and it's going into, as I say, that the marketplace is around us now. People want to work with us, so we can add value to each one of our divisions. We can spin them off. Obviously, I mean, if we were to spin off, let's say we were to spin off our tailings and small surface operations, if we were to do that, straight away you would give your shareholder base, you'd give them another share. There'd be an intrinsic value of that new company. So immediately there's value enhancement for those people who are in the company and those people who are contemplating being in the company. And then again, you reach a place with power station. Having got this far, do we really want to sell it?
You've said power stations at least 3 times in our conversation. I'm betting that's where the future lies.
So maybe we want to double the size of that. The banks are interested. It's not high risk. I mean, let's face it, they're small 10 megawatt power stations and high risk. So there may be players out there who want to come in, join in with us, double the size of that power station. So maybe we sell some of it, we get capital to enlarge, and there's a division, which again, I use the word legs. It's got legs, it's got its own future. Do you make it a public vehicle, or do you enjoy the cash flow to enhance the overall Jubilee? Then again, you know, I go back to conglomerate. You really don't want to maintain conglomerates forever because people just do not understand conglomerates.
Mr. Bird, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you
I
very
take
much.
away 2 things from this conversation: power stations and no conglomerates. Thank you so much for your time today,
Thank you,
sir.
thanks very much.
That was Colin Bird, Non-Executive Chairman of Jubilee Platinum.